Okay, muchachos, this video we're going to talk about the verb doler, which means to hurt or when something aches. We're going to use the verb doler, okay? So it works just like the verb gustar, where we start off with our who, and then we have the verb, and remember we're only going to have two forms of doler, and then we're going to say what is hurting whoever it is, okay? So we're going to use the same indirect object pronouns that we used with gustar. Let me slide this over so I can reach it there. Okay, so we're gonna have, if it's hurting me, I'm gonna say me, and then I'm gonna write in parentheses here this little, remember that little phrase that we used to clarify or emphasize who it is? So that would be, so if you say me, you could say me. Again, this is not necessary. You can't say me and leave off me. You have to have the me. You have to have the pronoun. Okay, the you is te or ti. Okay, let's see. The next one is lay, and that works for quite a few. So let me see if I can write this kind of small. So that works for a usted, a él, and a ella. Put those all in parentheses. So lay is more. These are more to clarify what lay means. These are to emphasize because we don't really need to clarify. We already know who we're talking about. But for these, we need to clarify who that lay means. So if you say le duele, something is hurting. Is it hurting you? Is it hurting him? Is it hurting her? Okay. Then we have nos, which would be a nosotros. And then you have les. And les is a plural of just these. So it'd be a ustedes, a ellos, a ellas. Okay? Okay, so those are all of my, these are how I say who it is, who it's hurting. Okay? Doler is a stem changer. It goes to UE. So my only two choices would be duele and duelen. Okay? The reason is because, remember, let me slide that back over and go clear over there. Remember, let me draw a little squiggly line here because these sentences, these two parts are not related. Meaning, I'm going to pick this based on who it is, but my verb is going to be based on what. My verb is connected to the what. It's not connected to the who. Because this is not a subject. This is an indirect object, okay? Because what you're really saying is like, my arm is hurting me. So my arm, this is really the subject over here, even though it's written completely backwards, okay? Kind of like when we did gustar, okay? So whatever it is that's hurting is what you're going to write in here. So if it's singular, if it's just one, if whatever it is singular, one thing, then you're going to use duele. If it's plural, then you use duelen. For example, if you're saying like, oh, my arm hurts, you say, me duele el brazo, because brazo is singular. But if my eyes are hurting, plural, I say, me duelen los ojos, okay? So remember, we picked duele or duelen based on whether or not it's singular or plural. Just like when we did gustar, remember we picked gusta and gustan, so gusta was one thing, gustan was more than one thing, okay? Okay. So that's that. Now, just a little interesting, I don't know if it's interesting or not, but just a little thing, a little difference between Spanish and English is that over here when we talk about the what, we use articles, not possessive adjectives. Okay? So here, let me do a sentence for you. So normally in English we say like, oh, my arm hurts, right? And we don't include the me. We just assume that's just part of it, right? My arm hurts. And we're like, well, who does it hurt? No, we don't ask that. We know it's hurting you, right? Oh, my leg hurts. Okay? So in Spanish though, when you put this me in here, that's assumed that you're describing something on your own body. So that's why we don't have to use a possessive adjective. We want to say, me duele mi brazo. It's like my arm is hurting me. It's like it's already assumed because you use the me. Okay, so if you're trying to say, let me erase this part right here. Let's go back to our two examples here. So if you say, like my arm is hurting, me duele el brazo. So you're going to use the el, the la, the los, or the las. That's what I meant by an article. You use an article, don't say mi brazo here, okay? So me duele el brazo. And if it's your eyes, you say me duelen los ojos. So again, because eyes is plural, we're going to pick duelen. But again, we still use the article and not mis ojos, okay? Okay, that's the verb doler.